and make it what you want it to be. It's about having the courage to take risks and try new things. What if your life was full of endless possibilities? It is so easy today to get dragged down by all the negativities and darkness hanging over us like an ominous cloud. The economy, the underemployment, the terrorism, the high gas price. I could fill up a blog with bad news, but a recent post by our AB Journal blogger, Patrick Lamb, he says, I could just easily fill up a blog with good news as I could with bad. Sure, I might have to look a little deeper for it. I might have to look a deeper for it. Work a little harder to find it. Good news usually doesn't make the headlines, he says, but it's out there. Even in the midst of all the stress, worry, and negativity, people all around us are pulling themselves up, opening their minds to new ideas and possibilities, taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there and doing amazing things. And if they can do it, so can you. That's what Lamb says. The world situation is what it is. Each of us has a personal situation that is what it is too. Meaning about it will never change. So for each of us, the question is, what are you going to do about your personal situation, about the world is? Lamb's point is that our lives are filled with endless possibilities. We just have to open our minds to see them. This means making smart choices. For example, we can choose to look on the bright side or the dark side. We can choose to act or react to sit and watch life pass by. And in everything we do every day, we have a choice to make. Are we going to be great or are we going to be mediocre? This applies to anything we do, from window washer to salesperson or parent to manager or to housemaker to CEO. And it never is too early to learn how powerful our ability to make choices. Now I will just take all of you to a very informative thing about Toastmasters. When we talk about Toastmasters, it was established in the year 1924. One club in a 10 by 12 feet area under the basement of YMCA in Santa Ana, California, USA. In 1940, it was 180 clubs. In 1950, 920 clubs. 1960, 3,100 clubs. And in 1965, 3,600 clubs. The members 1965, 30,000, and in 1980, 150,000 members. 2023, 254 members in 144 countries. As you know that there is already a countdown for the centenary celebration in Smedley's Chapter 1 Club has planned for 4 days event celebration. God willing, I will be attending the celebration. 99 years we have completed, and in October 24 will be the 100th year celebration. We all have to really thankful for the person who have Dr. Ralph C. Smedley to bring us to this great height in all over the world. And let us give a great applause for the inventor, Toastmaster Ralph C. Smedley. PIE, pie in the sky is a phrase, pleasant idea is very unlikely to happen. Here we enjoy the meeting exactly in that pleasant form in 3 different ways. P stands for prepared speech. We have one pathway speech will be entertaining you with the humor. I stands for second part of the section, impromptu speeches. In this session, the speakers were given a subject where they will have 30 seconds to think and speak for 2 minutes with a message in the last. It is the third session where everyone will be anxiously waiting for the results of the performance, which is known as evaluation. This session is as important as the speeches that were performed in the 2 sessions. Evaluation is not a criticism, please note, but giving the opportunity to exalt yourself, your caliber. Today, I would like to introduce of today's keynote speaker. The keynote speaker is an academician, trainer, motivational speaker, life coach, counselor, and quiz master par excellence, both by training and by choice. He's working as a professor and the director of academic research in the Department of Commerce at Sindhi College. He's a triple postgraduate, having completed in MCOM, MBA, and MPhil, and also a doctorate in commerce on the topic and MPhil in Mysore University. He is the recipient of National Award as a role model for empowerment of persons with disability from the Honorable President of India in December 2013. He is also the recipient of a special award given by the State Award for Excellence by the Government of Karnataka in 2015. He was recognized as DTM in 2011 and holds the record of being adjudged the best impromptu speaker for 5 years in District 82 and 92 for the years 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2015, and the district evaluation champion for years in 2007, 2008, 2012, 2014. I think a stalwart like him, we should print and hand out and give to all the attendees of the meeting so that they can leisurely read his life's accomplishment, because it is taking so much of time. Let us give a great round of applause to dynamic personality, Dr. Manwani, DTM. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm audible and visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm reminded of a teacher who went into class, since I'm an academician, and the teacher went into class and there was a student sitting in the front row, and the teacher asked the student in the first row, if God appeared in front of you, what will you ask God for? The student said, definitely I'll ask for a brand new iPhone. I'll definitely ask for a very good laptop. I also want a very nice 350cc bike. So the teacher got a little upset and she said, what's wrong with you? If God appears in front of you, you should be asking for wisdom. You should be asking for courage. You should be asking for talent. The boy smiled at the teacher and said, Madam, you ask what you don't have, I'll ask what I don't have. With all stalwarts like you, Milind, Nazneen, and so many others are there. So there's nothing to be. You know, when you take a small speck of sand, you see it with the ordinary eye, it appears very small. When you see it with a magnifying glass, it appears a little bigger. And when you see it with a microscope, it looks huge. So it's not I'm that same grain of sand, but you all are seeing me with that microscopic eyes. So thank you very, very much for that wonderful introduction. I thought I'd speak today on the theme, which is new beginnings and endless possibilities. When I was in my 8th standard, there were the beautiful 4 lines of a poem which were there in my poetry book, which stuck in my head. The lines of the poetry were, he slept under the starry skies, he basked under the sun, he led a life of going to do, but left with nothing done. He slept under the starry sky, he basked under the sun, he led a life of going to do, but left with nothing done. And I was very touched by that poem because I said that so many times people live their life like that, isn't it? They just bask under the sun, they sleep under the starry sky. They never make a new beginning. They never explore the endless possibilities in front of them because they don't want to take that risk. They don't want to move forward in life. And there was one more incident which happened when I was in my school in my 8th standard. I hadn't lost my eyesight at that time. We used to, I'm a part of a school in Bangalore called this Bishop Cotton Boys School, and we used to have every year an annual competition, which was the Cottonian Shield. One was in cricket and one was in football. I'm talking about the football competition, which used to happen. In that football competition, most of the times we had our arch rivals, St. Joseph's, which is another school here in Bangalore. And what had happened was for 3 years consecutively, St. Joseph's had won the finals against Bishop Cottons. And this was the 4th year running. And we wanted to win the trophy very, very desperately. And as tradition would have it, we reached the finals of the competition and the football competition. And it was in our school. So it was a lot of festive atmosphere and everybody's cheering for Bishop Cotton Boys. In the first half of the football match, both the teams scored 1 goal each. In the second half, none of the teams could score any goals. Then we went into extra time. Again, nobody could score a goal. Then we went into the tiebreaker. And in the tiebreaker, both the teams scored 4 goals each out of the 5 kicks. Now came the sudden death tiebreaker. The sudden death tiebreaker is they shoot, we shoot. And if they shoot and we don't shoot, they win the game. Or if we shoot and they don't shoot, we win the game. So the first 3 kicks, both the teams scored the goals. In the 4th kick, the Joseph striker, he struck the ball with his leg, but the ball went over the crossbar and he missed the goal. So there was a golden chance for Bishop Cottons to win the Cottonian Shield after 3 years. Our PT sir, Mr. Shankar, he came up and he came, and there were 2 boys from Mizoram in my school and my class. Their names were Lal Zarliana, whom we called Zara, and another boy was Remkima. And they were very good footballers, very good strikers. So he came up and he looked at Lal Zarliana. Are you going to take the kick? Lal Zarliana shook his head and he said no. And as he looked at Remkima, Remkima smiled and he started walking towards the penalty area and the football area, and he went. He took the kick and the kick went over the goalkeeper's head and we scored the goal. And there was huge celebration in Bishop Cottons. Everybody started clapping, cheering. They ran on the field. They carried Remkima and they said, he's a jolly good fellow. We had won the Cottonian Shield after 3 years of a drought. The next day, I was sitting with Remkima and Lal Zara in my class. And I asked Zara, when Shankar sir came up to you, the PT sir, when he came up to you, you didn't take the kick. You shook your head. Why? He said, no, Rajdeep, I got scared. I said, if I miss the goal, people will call me names. I will become a disgrace. I will lose my respect. So I got scared of missing the goal. And Remkima, who's sitting there, said something very profound. Remkima looked at Zara and he said, and those words still ring in my head. He said, by not taking the goal or by not taking the kick, you missed the goal anyway. By not taking the kick, you missed the goal anyway. And I think most of us don't explore our endless possibilities because we don't take that new beginning. We don't step out of our comfort zone. We don't want to go into the new beginnings. And there is a lot of research which has been conducted as to why human beings are afraid to get into those new beginnings. Why human beings are not willing to take that risk and go forward in life when there are so many new possibilities, new beginnings availing for them, waiting for them. And the answer which they found, and many of these psychologists, including one of the greatest psychologists in the management sphere, Kurt Lewin, who gave the theory of change, says that there are 2 forces which act in every human being. One is called the fear of loss, and the second is called the desire for gain. And whenever the fear of loss is greater than the desire for gain, what happens? You don't take that plunge. But whenever the desire for gain is more than the fear of loss, that time you make those new beginnings and you explore endless possibilities. So are you going to take that desire for gain? So the only solution is that desire for gain should be more than the fear of loss. If you keep looking at the fear of loss, we are looking at the wrong side. We are looking, oh my God, if I take this and something happens. You're looking at the fear of loss. Why don't you look the other side? Look at the desire for gain. Look at what you will gain if that thing succeeds. And that is the most important aspect for change. That is the most important aspect for new beginning. Are we going to look at the desire for gain? And when that desire for gain overpowers the fear of loss, then there is transformation. When I finished my MCOM and I was working as a telephone operator in a company. And in those days, for a visually impaired person, there was only the option of a telephone operator and or a music teacher. But I didn't want to become a music teacher. I'd finished my BCom. So I was working as a telephone operator in a company called Shivananda Electronics, where you had to connect calls. But I always wanted to become a lecturer. So I had started doing my MCOM through correspondence. And I did MCOM through correspondence. I used to carry those cassettes, etc. And then the results came and I got the first rank in my MCOM in Mysore University. That's another story. And I tried for 17 different, I made 17 different attempts to get into a college. And finally, on the 17th attempt, I got into a college called Jain College here. But that's not the story which I wanted to tell you. When I applied for Jain College and I got the offer letter, am I audible, Nazneen? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
audible.
Yeah. No, because sometimes if it's quiet, no, I've got disconnected once or twice from the meeting and then I
You're
will.
mesmerizing.
Okay.
Very
So what
nice.
happened is when I actually got into Jain College as a lecturer and they sent me the offer letter, it was very, very strange, that offer letter. The offer letter said that Mr. Rajdeep Manwani, you have been appointed as a lecturer, but this is only on a contractual basis for 2 months and you will be paid a stipend of 2,500 rupees for the first 2 months of your service. And if your job work is found satisfactory, only then you will be confirmed and you will resume duties as a full-time lecturer. And I was very confused because I was going to leave this job in Sivananda Electronics where I was also getting 2,500 rupees. And I thought if I leave this job, then I will not get this job back. So I had to take the plunge into the unknown. I wanted to become a lecturer, but if I take this plunge and if I become a lecturer and suppose it doesn't work and they end my contract after 2 months, the fear of loss, then what will happen? I'll be left with nothing. So I was a little perplexed. I was a little confused whether to take up the job or not. And I had a friend called Girish. In fact, I have him still. His name is Girish, and he's now working in LTI Mindtree. And he was a very intelligent boy. He's a person with crutches. He can't walk. His one leg is amputated, and he walks with one crutch. And I had met him at the vocational rehabilitation center, a center for the employment exchange for disabled people, where you go and apply, and if there is any vacancy in a government position, you get in. So we both had applied at the same time, and I had met him there, and he had become my friend, and he used to come home quite often. And my house is in Shantinagar. So when he came to my house one of the days in the evening, I asked him, Girish, I've got this offer, but I'm very confused whether to take up this job or not. I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing because they have appointed me only for a contractual basis. I'm getting scared. I have the fear of losing this as well as that. So he said, Rajiv, come, we go for a walk. So we started walking. You can imagine a person who's blind. He's holding my hand. Because he can't support himself, and I am getting guided by him. You go left, you go right. So I'm supporting him in one way, he's supporting me in one way. Behind our house, there is a Christian cemetery. This is Hosu Road. It's just around half a kilometer behind my house. Just if you walk backward, there's a Hosu Road cemetery. So we walked up to it's a very desolate road, a quiet place. So we used to walk there. So we walked near the graveyard, the Christian graveyard, and he stood over there and he looked at me and he said, do you know, Rajdeep, the graveyard is the richest place in the world. I said, what? He said, yes, the graveyard is the richest place in the world. I said, why? He said, do you know, Rajdeep, here there are hundreds and thousands of people who could have written their books but didn't write their books. who could have sung their songs but didn't sing their songs, who could have started a new venture and become entrepreneurs but did not start the new venture, who could have discovered or invented a new product or service but did not do that. Here lies hundreds and crores of rupees of untapped potential of human beings who got scared. Then he looked at me and he said, Rajdeep, after you die, do you want to make this place richer? And he gave me the hint. After you die, do you want this place to become richer? That means if I don't fulfill my dreams, even I'll be making this place richer. I will die in my grave with that untapped potential of becoming a lecturer. It was stunning at that time because I hadn't thought of this before. And so many people just die over there without doing or expressing their fullest potential in life because they're scared. The fear of loss is dominating their desire for gain. And at that point of time, we were walking back. There's one more incident which happened at the same day while we were walking back home, which sealed my decision to become a lecturer. As we were walking, as I told, I can't see. So there was this lorry which was going by and I couldn't see it. And as I told you, it's a desolate place and a lot of lorries and trucks come and that. A lorry just came and it was about to hit me. He just pulled me to the side, Girish. And that lorry just brushed me and it went past me. And I said, my God. And Girish said one more thing that day, which made a profound impact on my life. He said, Rajdeep, if there's no security to life, why are you seeking security in life? Rajdeep, if there is no security to life, why are you seeking security in life? And isn't it true? How many people died during the COVID first wave, second wave? There's no security to life. And we are seeking security in life. And we die with all that untapped potential. So, what I'm trying to tell you is very simple, isn't it? Unless we make those new beginnings, where are those endless possibilities? And the new beginnings can start only when our desire for gain is greater than the fear of loss. We don't give life a chance. And unless we give life a chance, there is no chance of endless possibilities, right? We are rejecting ourselves again and again. Again and again. And that's the most important part. Did you know that before Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, there were two inventors, Elisha Gray and Antonio Meucci, who had developed the prototype of the telephone much before Alexander Graham Bell? But Elisha Gray was a famous Italian scientist who believed that if I go and register my patent and if it doesn't work, people will laugh at me. So he got scared of public opinion. Antonio Meucci said, if I go and register my patent, I have to pay $150. And if I pay that amount and it doesn't work, I'll lose my money. Alexander Graham Bell was not scared. He was not scared of losing his reputation. He was not scared of losing his money. And today in the world, who remembers Elisha Gray and Antonio Meucci? Nobody. If you want to leave a legacy, we have to take those new beginnings. Did you know that before the aeroplane was invented by the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, there was a man called Samuel Pierpont Langley who had developed the prototype of the aeroplane before them? But he got scared. He was scared of his wife. His wife used to blackmail him. Samuel, darling, you'll go on top, you'll fall off. What will happen to me? What will happen to my children? And that poor fellow did not experiment with his own invention. Thank God Wright brothers were not married at that particular point of time. And they were actually discarded by their own father. If you read the autobiography of the Wright brothers, you'll come to know that their father was Bishop Wright, who was a father in the uh, North Carolina church, and he said, the flying is only for angels and for the birds, and you are going against them. So why don't you give life a chance? What I'm trying to tell you is take those new possibilities. Let me end with a small story. Just a very interesting story. When I had finished my 10th in my ICSE, we had 6 subjects. We had the normal 5 subjects, and we had a 6 subjects, and I had taken economics and commerce. And I loved the subject. But in those days, people who are visually impaired couldn't take economics and commerce because you had to draw lines, there were statistics, maths, and everybody told me you take arts. So I went to called Mr. Babu Rangaraj, and I asked him, sir, I want to take commerce, but should I take it? Because everybody's telling only for visually impaired, only arts can be taken. And Babu Rangaraj was an English professor. He looked at me and he said, Rajdeep, somebody is waiting for you to cross the hurdle so that their race can begin. Somebody is waiting for you to cross the hurdle so that their race can begin. I didn't understand it that time, but when I went home, I realized somebody is waiting for me to take up this stream of commerce so that so many other blind children after me will take up commerce at a later point of time. And I'm so glad I convinced Father Walter Andrade in St. Joseph's College to allow me to take commerce. And today, the preferred mode of studies for most blind children is commerce. So if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to make a mark in the world, the only thing is take that plunge. Let the desire for gain overcome the fear of loss. Let me end with the same poem which I started off. He slept under the starry skies, he basked under the sun. He led a life of going to do, but left with nothing done. Let your life not be that. Let's take those new beginnings and create endless possibilities. Thank you so much.
Can we all unmute and give a big round of applause?
A great speech by a great personality, Rajdeep, Doctor.
Thank you so much, sir. And I will have to take your leave, and I want to thank Nazneen, Milind, and
1 minute.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Rajdeep, I would definitely like to thank you. My friend Rajdeep and I belong to the same alma mater, that is Cottons. We are not bonded by Toastmasters. Toastmasters got us together. This platform has given me a great personality like Rajdeep, and he was awarded as the Eminent Award by Cottons. Every year we have the Eminent Award, and he shared it with none other than another alumni of Cottons, Ricky Cage, who is a Grammy Award winner. I'm sure you all know about it. I'm privileged and happy that Rajdeep took out his time and he graced our club with his experience. Please do visit again.
Thank you so much.
I believe that the motto that he believes in, touching lives, making a difference. How many of you feel that he has touched each one's life and has made a difference? Can we all? Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
And
so much. Thank you so much.
Camera and others, can we have a picture, please?
Yes, we can do that. I request all of you to turn on your videos.
Please turn on
all of you to turn on your videos. We see 33 people in the room, including myself. So please quickly turn on your videos. I see all smiling faces.
Please turn your video.
Thank you very much for that backing, Joseph, sir. I would request. I see many more people. I think there is Tejasvi, Prasanna, so many people. Come on, please turn on your videos.
Turn on your videos.
All right, Udaya, I can understand you're in the middle of an office meeting, not a problem at all. And as for the others, please feel free to not raise your hands, but rather, oh yeah, you know what, if you want to raise your hand, you can.
Yes.
Divya and Deepak.
Deepa, please. Yes.
All right, I see a good number of them. Sounds good. Just give me a minute. Nazneen, I hope it's fine. Can we go?
Yes, Adarsh. Good to go.
All right, then. I request all of you to perform this gesture. All right, then. In 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
One for all the best.
Thanks.
Adarsh, can you share the certificate and spotlight Rajdeep, please?
Sure, just give me
Thank
one. All right, then I'll quickly go ahead and take a photo. The certificate is displayed here. Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. And I'll hand it to the presiding officer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nadine. Thank you, everybody. And it's been a pleasure coming to your club.
I'll just take a quick photo, just one.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much. I'll exit the meeting, Nadine. Now I have to go,
Yes.
right? Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so much. Thank you so much. If any of you all have got any questions, you can send it to Joseph sir, and he will coordinate with Rajdeep sir, and we'll get back to you. Definitely, for sure. The stage is all yours, sir. Eventually, Joseph sir.
Thank you so much. And it was a very good education for us with the stalwart speaking about not only his personal life, he has touched everyone's life also. Now we are going for a prepared speech. It's time for these 3 sessions, which I have mentioned before. These 3 sessions are being controlled by the general evaluator. I would like to introduce our today's general evaluator. He's a Toastmaster. He joined as Toastmaster. He never imagined he would travel so far. He thought at some point for some time he will be scared and drop off. He is well in his second part, played multiple officer roles, one outstanding president awarded Medalist India. Being an area Toastmaster Nadim Selvan. Over to you. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Joseph sir. I'll be having my team of evaluators and share my observation and my team's observation in the third part of the meeting. Timer is Shubhi. Shubhi, you want to show the green, yellow cards and quickly talk about your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nadia and Selvam. So I'll be a timer. I'll be giving you the green card in speeches, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. So green card on 5 minutes, 6 minutes on 6 minutes. I'll be showing yellow card, and on 7 minutes I'll be showing red card. And in impromptu speeches, I'll be showing 1 minute green card, 1.5 minute yellow card, and red card on 2 minutes. Over to you.
For evaluation? For evaluation, green card at 2 minutes and yellow 2 minutes 30 seconds and red at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shubhi. Can we all applaud for Shubhi? Now we can move on to the next role taker, which is Yudli for our counter, and the report will be shared at the end of the meeting. The third role taker is our grammarian. This role is being played by Toastmaster Richa. Toastmaster Richa, can you explain your role, please?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Nadian. Hello, everyone. My name is Richa Sharma, and I am a grammarian for today's Toastmasters meeting. As part of my role, I'll keep eye on all good usage of verbs, number of times, the word of the day we used, and wrong pronunciations where we can improve. At the end of meeting, I'll share my report. And now the Now we come on word of the day today. So everyone knows Neeraj Chopra, right? Is there someone who doesn't know about him? So Neeraj Chopra is an Indian track and field athlete. He's the first Asian athlete to win an Olympic gold medal in men's javelin throw. Throwing javelin is his forte. So the word of today is forte, which means someone is good in something, or at which someone excels. So the word of the day today is forte. Whenever someone is using the word of the day today, just give a thumbs up. And over to you, Toastmaster Nadia. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Richa. It's a nice hack I learned today. So please give a thumbs up when you use the word of the day. And you can probably put the word of the day in the chat box as well at some time, Richa. Thank you so much to all the role takers. Can we hear it for them, please? Now, back to our jubilant Toastmaster, the Toastmaster of the day, Joseph sir.
Thank you, General Evaluator Agent Selvam. Now it's time for the prepared speech. Today there is only one person to speak, fortunately. Before I could call the speaker, I would request the evaluator to read the purpose of the project. The evaluator is a non-executive resident director of the board of 2 Indian subsidiaries of MNCs. He is a qualified company secretary and a law graduate with over 30 years of corporate experience in listed public and private companies. In 2022, he retired from Cognizant Technologies of Bangalore. He is on the expert committee of Indian Chamber of Commerce Bangalore chapter. He has completed 7 marathons and on April 2022 at the Bangalore Marathon. He is also a yoga freak and now he is also entering a public life, which is about to start. Let us welcome to DTM Milan Kulapkar. Over to you, sir. Please read the purpose of the project of the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Joseph Benedict, sir. The speaker today has opted for path engaging humor, and he is giving his level 2 project 1 speech, which is know your sense of humor. The purpose of this project is to develop a collection of humorous stories and present a speech that includes humor. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Milan Kulapkar, DTM. The speaker is a consultant at Sea Profit Wealth Management Private Limited. He is also a director of a Phoenix company called Deep Pockets Technologies Private Limited. Beyond work, he loves watching and writing in his spare times. Warm welcome to only and one speaker, Toastmaster Adarsh. Setting an example, Toastmaster Adarsh, setting an example. Over to you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you a very, very important question. And I think as all of us are there at Toastmasters, I'm pretty confident you would know what I'm talking about. The question is, who is a leader? Who is a leader? Yes, that is the question I have for all of you. I'm going to pose this question to maybe our, let's say, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nadia. Toastmaster Nadia, please tell me, who do you think is a leader?
Somebody who sets an example.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Nadia. I think you must have probably paid good attention to my speech title today, which is Setting an Example. That is very, very important in any leader for that matter. And I'm no different, because 3 years ago, when I walked through these doors in this very company that I run as the director, I was inexperienced. And I had to take over this business. Now, this business was a family business. It's a wealth management firm wherein we manage around 600 crores of public money, with over 15 people working in this team and a lot of other companies that we are tied up with. Of course, I had large shoes to fill. I didn't have little work. I had a lot of work. I had my work cut out from the day I walked in here. And I had to set an example. Because a day before I walked into the office, I gave myself a pep talk. I told myself, Adarsh, you have to walk into the office at 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock sharp, not a minute late. And in case of a minute early, then that's good, but not even a minute late. And guess what? I walked in at 9:30 the next day. And so much for setting an example, right? I failed big time on my first day. But still, I had time to make amends. So I walked in and I greeted everybody. I was introduced to the entire team, and I felt a little bit different. I felt a little uncomfortable because this was a very, very different situation. Because the people working in the company have been known to me for quite a long time. They have been with me for quite a long time, but they've never seen me as a boss. They've only seen me as a kid walking into the office. They've never seen me as a boss before. And that was quite a challenge. And then what happened was we walked inside the conference room where I had to introduce myself rather more formally, right? I stood before all of them, around 15 members from my team were there right in front of me, and I greeted all of them, and I delivered this incredible speech. Now, look, I think one of the biggest advantages of being a Toastmaster is that you can deliver one fine speech without any issues at all. And I was able to handle that so well. I delivered a speech where I told them about the kind of things I was going to bring to the table and the kind of example that I was going to set for them. And by the way, I still felt a little bit uncomfortable. Not because of the weight of responsibility or the lack of competency or the fact that I wasn't capable of taking care of the future of this business, but rather I was concerned about one thing that was affecting me a lot. Well, I'm going to let one of you in this audience guess what was making me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm probably going to ask let's say Adarsh. I think I have another Adarsh in the room. Adarsh, what do you think made me feel very uncomfortable? By the way, I was very, very comfortable in delivering the speech as a Toastmaster. I inspired everybody in the room, but something made me feel very uncomfortable. Tell me, Adarsh, what do you think made me feel uncomfortable?
I believe that you did not have that confidence that time, lack of experience, lack of mentorship.
Oh, that's a very, very complicated answer. Apologies, Adarsh. That is not the answer. The answer is my pants were too tight. My pants were so tight that I was sweating from every part of my body, and I couldn't wait to go back home. I stood up from the chair after delivering that speech, and things went from bad to worse. I tore my shoes. I got up just like this, and I sat back down as quickly as possible, and I pulled myself towards the table and hid my feet so that nobody in the room noticed that their boss's shoes were torn. And of course, things were only going to get worse from there, right? Because one of them from my office, an advisor with over 15 years of experience, walked up to me and greeted me and said, Adarsh, congratulations on becoming the director of the company. You are an amazing man. I would like to shake hands with you, but I would like you to stand up first. But sir, I don't think it is good for us to stand up. I think as gentlemen, it's always better for us to sit down and have an interaction. And he was not convinced. He pulled me up and shook hands with me, and I was awkwardly hiding my shoes. And of course, I was somehow able to get away with everything. Nobody noticed. Because it was during the market hours, the office was going crazy. nobody had the time to even notice that my shoes were torn. And throughout the day, I had a bunch of meetings to attend, and I somehow catered to all of them because they were online meetings regardless. And at the end of the day, when the clock hit 6 o'clock, I got really tired. I wanted to go back home. And before going back home, I wanted to go for a walk. So I sort of stepped out of my cabin. I stood in front of all the employees and I told them, guys, my shoes are torn. My shoes are torn. Please forgive me. I have not set a good example for you on my first day at work. And everybody in the office burst out laughing. They burst out laughing because my shoes were torn. It looked ridiculous and my pants were so tight. But guess what? One of them actually stood up and told me, Adarsh, I knew that your shoes were torn. I knew that your shoes were torn from the first minute you walked into the office today. And my face became so red because I thought I'd hit my shoes so well the entire day. But of course, people were there to notice that. But with that said, I was able to see the smile on everybody's face in the office, and I realized that I'd actually done a good job. Yes, I actually think I did a wonderful job that day because people came into work, they had a very fun time, and they went back home thinking about how funny their boss actually is. I feel that in order for you to actually be a leader, you don't have to be perfect by any chance. And yes, you have the obligation of setting an example, but setting an example doesn't mean you have to be perfect. All it means is that you should be able to deal with circumstances as and when they come. And as a leader, it's your right, or I would say it's your responsibility to see to it that everybody in the team is having a good time. On that note, I'd like to hand it back to our event chair.
It was a great speech, Adarsh. Give him a great round of applause, each and every one of you. And since it is only one speaker, it is now time to introduce the table topic master. The table topic is impromptu speech where a question is given and answered in 2 minutes. The first 30 seconds will for you to think, and the next, the body of the speech, and the last 30 seconds will be wrap up with the message. Generally, the club gives this opportunity to the guest, and by now our distinguished guests are well aware of this, and why not give them a chance? Our table topic master is a software engineer in Accenture. He donated blood 15 times and platelet once. His hobbies are playing football and cricket. Yes, the farming and all those. I have no idea what is chemical-free food. He himself will, before taking up, he will explain what is chemical-free food. Let us welcome our table topic master with a round of applause, Toastmaster Venu Karthik. Toastmaster Venu Karthik, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Event Chair Joseph sir. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Already, our event chair has given you a brief introduction of what is table topics. So, in the interest of audience, I will just brief you about this table topics. So, this table topics, which will help you to speak on any of the stage, and suppose if you come across any of the situation where you want to answer for some questions, so it will help you to speak on the spot, and it will help you improve your creative level, and also it will help you to master your listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering skills. So please note that you are required to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. So additional 30 seconds will be given as a grace time for you. So you need to conclude your table topic speech within that time. So our timer will help you with the flashcards in the virtual background. So I would request guests and first I would request our guests to take part of this segment. So I will pick up any of the guests, or if you are voluntarily come up, I'm very happy for that. So if anyone
I think we can go with Michael
Mike.
TM Kumar.
from Indonesia.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, I'm Mike Nicholson from Jakarta. I'm ready for my hot topic, my quick table topic.
Yes, Mike. Your topic is, have you ever been in awkward situation because you did not realize you forgot to mute yourself on a call? I will repeat the topic once again. Have you ever been in awkward situation because you did not realize you forgot to mute yourself on a call? Over to you.
I'm lucky that luckily I have not been in that hot mic situation yet. I'm sure it will happen. It normally happens in reverse, where I'm talking to myself and I'm still muted. But yeah, it is a worry that we have to be careful what we say in private. There are some people who are very gifted and they can actually lip read. So be careful, even if you are muted, what you say, because some spy somewhere with telescopic vision and a journalist's penchant for gathering news information, might be looking for you, might be trying to make a news item out of your mispronunciation, your misspeaking. But no, it's been fun. I've enjoyed speaking. I normally don't have to worry what I say. I'm not a controversial person, so I normally wouldn't say anything bad anyway. And I'm going blind slowly, seriously, but I can't find the timer at the moment. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun. See, where is the timer? I can't see. Oh, there you are. There you are. You've gone green. Okay, I was going to go pale, but you've gone green, so that's good. I can keep talking. I never stop until the red goes on, so people in Indonesia know that. I don't want to win any prizes, so I normally overrun just so I get disqualified. Takes the politics out of it. So yellow, is time to close down. I'll close my hot mic now and go slumber in the corner and listen to you guys. Thank you for the invitation to be here, and it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike, for your participation and well spoken. Thank you very much. And our next table topic speaker is our guest Suresh Balu. Hi, Suresh Balu.
Hi.
Yeah, your topic is, a woman's "I will be ready in 5 minutes" is the same as a man's "I will be home in 5 minutes." A woman's "I will be ready in 5 minutes" is the same as a man's "I will be home in 5 minutes.
Thank you, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guest. I think this is happens in our everyone's life, right? And every time we will say it is 5 minutes, but it will never be the 5 minutes. So there are so many instances in my life as well where if you need to go out for a movie or some shopping, so though I may have got stuck in some meeting or some other events, but we don't want to disappoint saying that maybe I will take another 30 minutes or 1 hour, right? So we always use this excuse of saying, okay, 5 minutes I will be there, 5 minutes I will be there, something like that. And but we end up coming very late, like it may take 30 minutes or 1 hour. But that is something which we need to usually avoid it. So whatever the fact it is, right, maybe it is going to take 5 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour. So we need to really convey that message very, very clearly and set the expectation very clearly, so that the other person will not be waiting for us. In the same way, I personally experienced so many times my wife says 5 minutes, but it will never be 5 minutes. And there are a lot of instances I might have got angry also, why you are taking so much of time to get ready and all. But over the period of time, I realized, I think having that 5 minutes exception doesn't work. I mean, like, it will take time. So I just whenever we need to go step out, wife says 5 minutes, then I know it will take 30 minutes or 1 hour. So I will just keep quiet, and maybe I will spend some time in reading some newspaper or watching some TV, etc. So that I stopped arguing, just to ensure that I am cool and composed. I don't want to lose my temper or anything. So it will never happen in 5 minutes. So always it will take more or less time. So we need to get used to it. And we need to be little optimistic in terms of whatever the time it takes. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Suresh Balu. You have spoken very well. And the best part is you have finished your speech within the time. And who will be our... okay, Rohit Jain has volunteered himself. So, hi, Rohit.
Yeah, hi.
So your topic is growing old is mandatory, but growing up is completely optional. Growing old is mandatory, but growing up is completely optional.
Hi, dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. A warm greeting to all of you. Growing old is mandatory and growing up is optional. That's very well true. Growing old means growing just by age. It just increases your counter in the age. And just because you are increasing, you're just spending the years on this planet Earth, that doesn't mean you have grown up. Grown up means you have become matured, becoming matured means you have the patience, you have the tolerance power, and you have the ability to listen to others and soothing their emotions as well. If you have not grown up, you might be still behaving like a child who is doing tantrums most of the times. I think if I say, you may be even worse than the childish behavior. So just don't spend the days and days, just improve your own personality. I think that means that's how we can grow up, by growing old. If both the things happens together, that really can change not just our lives, it can impact others' lives as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit. You have very well
I
explained.
can see Bryce Aiden,
Yes,
Toastmaster Bryce Aiden from Philippines.
welcome, Bryce. So your topic is don't take life too seriously and yourself. Don't take life too seriously and yourself. Over to you.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Thank you. Hello, good evening, great Toastmasters. Don't take life too seriously. Sometimes we believe that until we put in everything that we've got in terms of our capacity, in terms of our competence, in terms of our capabilities, we may not get our desired result. So we stretch ourselves. Sometimes I am remembering Hooke's law of elasticity in my elementary physics, which teaches that when an object is stretched beyond the capacity to recover, it goes beyond the elastic limit, and that object might finally be distorted. So we take ourselves so seriously because we want to accomplish so much within a specific time frame that we've set for ourselves as our goals, and we don't take the time to live in the moment. We take ourselves so seriously, we take our work so seriously, and that sometimes affects our other people very negatively. Yes, we need to deliver on our goals. Yes, we need to build the things we want to build. Yes, we want to make tons and lots of money. Yes, we want to fulfill our earnest desires. Yes, we want to get a PhD. So we exert ourselves. Sometimes the risk involved is that we might, in attempting to exert ourselves and take ourselves so seriously, we imbibe some negative attitude. It is good to exert ourselves in the fulfillment of a goal. It is also better not to take ourselves very seriously, to enjoy the moment, to bask in the euphoria of the time, to enjoy the small things in life, to keep our relationships, go to the beach, go to the park, and just enjoy ourselves. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
I can see Ashok, Baswaraj, anybody would like to opt, or do we have
I'm
time?
ready to take this
Yeah.
Ashok.
Yeah.
Ashok. Hi, Ashok. The topic for you is common sense is a flower that does not grow in everyone's garden. Common sense is a flower that does not grow in everyone's garden.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful topic. And this topic makes me think about the garden, not more about common sense. First of all, I should realize what does mean by common sense. So in order to define what is a common sense, so we all born with a sense which are similar to am I visible?
Yes, yes.
So common sense, it means it's a general, in the general meaning. So we are born with a sense which is similar with all the people. So this is called a common sense. So that is a standard set by for the human being, right? But actually, so every human beings are unique and have a different ability to explore. So we cannot define a common sense in the general term. So what I feel is that so if you see something common and the factors that are common, so the output what we are going to get is also going to be common. So in a garden, if you want to get a particular type of flower, so you have to throw a seed in a such a way. But in the real sense, it is not common. So every people in this world are unique, and even if we want to realize that, we are also not a person to think on that, because the input what you it comes in your mind is only based on the situations and the circumstances. The output is the output can be get from that input, but we are all not facing the same situations and circumstances in all time. So the process what I feel is like, so everything is happen on their own way. So we are not in the place where we are able to think and we are creating sense. Nothing is happening. So it is happening on their own way. So I am not believe in the word as common sense and all. So it is happening on their own. So thank you so much for this wonderful topic. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Ashok. And
Others, do we have time or for any more topics, or
We don't have any more time.
We
As per the
don't.
agenda, no.
Okay, so we'll take one more. Or we'll stop with this. Yeah, we'll close with the table topics, and over to you, Yuventure.
Thank you so much, and let us give a great round of applause to the table topic speakers as well as the table topic master for the unique way of conducting the table topics. And these people have spoken very well on the topic itself. Now it is time to hand over the stage to the general evaluator. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you, Joseph, sir. Playing G role was once not my forte, but I have played it few times, so I can do that comfortably. Good way or not, but I can do that comfortably. Let me call upon the evaluator for today. Milind sir, if you are ready, let me call you upon to share your evaluation on Adarsh's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Nadian Selvan. My target speaker, Adarsh. Good. So your project was engaging with humor. And that's what you exactly did. And you successfully completed what was expected from you. And how did you complete it? So know your sense of humor. So that was your thing. So there, you started with a question. And that got attention of everyone. And then you went on to explain what you intend to, what was the answer for that question. And the way entire thing, you were very relaxed. And you were conversing with the audience. So this conversational mode is very nice, especially when you are into a humor thing. And then you selected your own personal experience, which was not so good, according to you. So you also confessed and said, in humor, the beauty of the humor is that when you self-deprecate yourself. That was also greatly done. Now, let us be a nitpicking of this. So it was a personal, so there was a, what do they say, ethos, pathos, and ragos. So there was ethos, credibility was there. So it was ethical. So your personal story, so no one could compare, question you. That was there. And then there was a logic also, why there was humor. And regarding emotion. So what you did was, you were expressing, I was red, I was tense. But that emotion was not appearing on your face. Because you did not go to that particular moment, that first day, maybe 15 years back or something. So when you are giving a speech of anything, best thing is to go back to that experience. Think you are actually walking into your room at 9 or 5 or 9, whatever you want, and you're standing. So that would have added, because then the emotion would have come. And humor, they say, you talk less, but you explain what you wanted without talking. So maybe one advantage would have been if you were standing, your actions would have been much more comfortable and it would have expressed what you wanted.
You are on mute.
Milind, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, just now I got muted. So what was the last sentence I told?
I think you're talking about the ethos. You're talking about the emotions. I think you were past the emotions.
Okay, so correct.
Talking about.
So I was talking emotion. So emotions, you were explaining emotion. I was red-faced. But if you could have shown that emotion, that would have added. So best thing for such thing, you have to go to that particular role and enact that role on that particular day. And for that, maybe you could have actually given your speech standing, because gestures and humor are very important. And if you had got the props, that tight pants which you're talking about, maybe you would have stood up on your chair and something you actually had shown what is my tights. So that would have been better. Then your broken shoes, you could have shown your shoes. So instead of explaining my shoes were broken or something, just you would have lifted and shown my shoes or action. That would have added. So these are the few things which I told you. Just keep that in mind. Express yourself without minimum communication in words, actions, and movements. And with fantastic humor, you completed your projects. So kudos to you, and I look forward for your next speech. Over to the general evaluator, Nadia and Selvan.
Thank you, Milind sir. You did a great job and set an example for evaluation, which aligns with Adarsh's speech. You did give some expert advice, like going back to that time and situation. You did share some of the important and basic inputs like hand gesture. You also showcased how an evaluation needs to be done by not just pointing out something, but also giving a very clear example like shoe and so on. You even showed it, and thank you so much. Can we hear it for Milind sir for an awesome evaluation? Now the meeting started 2 minutes late, but it's mainly due to a technical glitch, which we all understand in today's time is unavoidable. And the SAA, again, Milind sir did a fabulous job. The first thing we expect from a SAA is the energy. Can we hear it for him, please? He had amazing energy. He did individually connect, almost mentioned about many people. That's where when I got worried saying, okay, if he mentions everybody, whether we'll run out of time, he stopped in the right place. And then went back to setting the ground rules and so on. He did a good job with that aspect as well. And he had a very good introduction to the president with a great energy. Thank you so much, sir. You definitely did set an example in that aspect as well. Can we hear it for Milind, sir, please? Now, coming to the president, one mistake which many presidents do is to forget to call the meeting to order, or they do it very late and so on, right? She did a fabulous job with respect to that. And she gave a very good introduction before introducing the event chair. And she did set the tone for the theme for today as well. And definitely mentioned well about the guest speaker or keynote speaker as well. Only thing probably we could have spent more time on is the guest introduction. But considering today's schedule is tightly packed, we did definitely stay on the money with respect to that, right? Definitely, I hope we'll hear from the guests in the end of the meeting. With respect to the TMOD, we heard very good introductions. Just in the moment, I was thinking whether the introduction for keynote speaker was going on and on. He did clearly give a reason why he did that. Because the achievements were so high, and he mentioned it in a humorous and nice way as well. That is a very important quality for a TMOD, to keep the audience engaged and tied and happy through the meeting. Thank you so much, Joseph sir. Then with respect to the keynote address, there were many interesting things I noted. One is when he mentioned by not taking the kick, you miss the goal. Another thing he mentioned about the fear of loss versus desire for gain. One more about the richest place in the world because of the inaction from the people till their death, and all the treasure which was in their head is buried under the ground now and long gone. I can keep adding, but definitely it was an amazing keynote speech. A lot of learning to take back. Can we hear it for the keynote speaker as well? With this, let me move on to the tag roles before coming to the table topic master. Shubhi, is there any timing violation today, or anyone is disqualified, or everyone is on time?
Yes. According to my report, a few people crossed the time limits, in which names mentioned are our speaker, although it is he has used the buffer timing for 30 seconds for compiling his speech, 7 minutes plus 30 seconds. Then coming to the
did he finish within 7 minutes 30 seconds or?
Yes. 7 minutes.
Then he did not violate the timing. If it is within 7 minutes 30 seconds, then 30-second grace period doesn't disqualify, or it is fine actually.
Okay, so here are the timings of impromptu speeches, table topics. So we have Mike, who gone for whose table topic was 1 minute and 45 seconds. Then for Suresh, it is 1 minute 55 seconds. For Rohit, it is 1 minute 46 seconds. For Bryce Adam, it is 2 minutes 25 seconds. Then for Ashok, it is 2 minutes 33 seconds. And then evaluator, no, Milinso, 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Thank you so much for an excellent report, Shubhi. It's a thankless job and you need to be always on the toe, right? Thank you so much. Grammarian Richa, are you there? Do you have your report? And you have the list of people who use the word for the day as well. Please go.
So in today's meeting, there is just one use of the word of the day that's being used by you, Narayan. Maybe like my internet connection is a bit slow, so maybe I would not be able to hear if someone did use that word, but there is single time use of the word forte that's been used by you. And there are a lot of good uses of words like venture, untapped, competency, burst out, caloring, slumber, convey, optimistic, tantrum, euphoria, and eventual. And there are a few words where we can improve our pronunciation, which is flower instead of flower. Other one is violet instead of violet. Yeah, that's the only thing that I am able to find out. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Very, very good list indeed. And thank you so much. Can we hear it for Richa, please? And at least I'm happy I used the word for the day. And why did I go to tag role players, especially the timer report, before I started talking about the table topic master? Any guesses? So the success of a table topic master is not about giving a tough topic and making sure people struggle, fumble, and not able to move through, right? It is to encourage people to speak in an impromptu manner. That way, the table topic master, the kind of topics he gave are both interesting as well as not very tough to speak upon. So we were able to give to many guests as well, and everybody spoke and spoke well and went in length. That shows the success of the table topic master. Thank you so much, Vinu. Can we hear it for Vinu, please? With this, let me hand it back to
this meticulous evaluation, and it's a great thing that you have done all by evaluating and suggestions also. Give a great round of applause to our general evaluator. Now, Gordon Notes says that an obligation to spend our time doing great things, to find ideas that matter and to share them, to push ourselves and the people around us to demonstrate gratitude, insight, and inspiration, to take risks and to make the world better by being amazing. Now, as the time is very short, already we crossed the limit and we have another meeting, area council meeting. We will just make sure that we will minimize our things, questions, our what you call the networking system. And over to Madam President Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you all for this wonderful meeting, and to be present on a Friday evening. It's not easy, especially on a working day. I thank each one of you all to have taken up the roles and attended the meeting of a great stalwart. I'm sure we have got a lot of takeaways with us today's evening. The role takers, the speaker, the evaluator, definitely certificates will be shared with them. Kindly make sure, noted that the certificates will be shared with them. And I now adjourn meeting number 728. Now the floor